any
Have no idea.
and, of course, Richard was there. He's going to be our new growth director.
Are you in Toastmasters, Rich?
Me? No.
Okay, yeah. I think Terry, I think you're confusing Rich with somebody else.
I was talking to you.
Oh, that's what happened. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Oh, okay. Oh, he thought I was talking to him.
Yes.
And he's not a Toastmaster.
No, he's not. No, he's not. This is not a Toastmasters call.
Where do you do Toastmasters? Where do you do Toastmasters?
Well, it depends. I'm in 2 clubs. I'm in World Toasters. That's a Disney club. That's for cast members only. But I have the Orlando Advanced Toastmasters, and that's a more advanced club. But there's lots of clubs. We have, I think, 149 clubs in the world.
Oh yeah, I know. I've done it before, but I was just wondering
okay.
where you are. Yes.
Oh, which club were you in originally?
I did Vancouver, British Columbia.
Oh, okay. So are you in Canada?
Yeah, I was in Canada. But now I'm in Medellin, Colombia, and a friend of mine does Toastmasters in Medellin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to work in travel, and I used to book a lot of people to Medellin. So I'm kind of familiar with the name Medellin.
Nice.
Colombia, yes.
Beautiful. So I think everybody's here. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the Josias experience. Just to give you guys a little context, I started this to connect the people I've met over 38 countries of travel and 45 states in the United States. I've met a lot of wonderful people. Going to seminars. Just going to leisure travel, being in Toastmasters, and every call is different because that's how I like it. It's random. It's fun. It's unorganized, but we're getting the hang of it here. We're tightening it up every Zoom by Zoom. So to start off, I want to start out with a Mel Robbins style greeting, and it goes like, "Hey you, yes you, I'm glad you're here. I want you to know something. I love you. I believe in you, and I'm proud of you for showing up because most people won't, but you did, and that means something. So take a deep breath, shake off your doubt, and let's do this together." All right. So first of all, I just want to introduce everybody to the. I know all of you guys. Some of you more than others, and I just want to do a quick round of introductions, and then we'll get into a topic, and then we'll speak about that. So, Rich, since you're the newest person, and Terry, Rich, I want you to go first. Just let us know what you're doing in Medellin and who you are, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so I lead men's circles in Medellin. I've been helping men circles since 2016. One of my fortes is doing shadow work. I help people bring the unconscious conscious. As Carl Jung said, if you don't make the unconscious conscious, it will control you and you will call it fate. And my forte is helping men heal their father wound. So I have had someone recently told me, he said, "Oh, I know someone who has that issue," and that's everybody. And so I love to walk men through a process that helps them gain more compassion for their father so that they can begin to heal. And I also lead conscious relationship training, which is helping people have a better relationship with themselves, with others, and with life. And that's also involves a lot of shadow work, very experiential, that workshop on conscious relationship training. It began in Vancouver over 30 years ago, and now I've brought it to Medellin.
Beautiful. So shadow work. Terry, go ahead.
My name is Terry Fellinger, is an AKA name because my real name is Theresa, and that's how they know me at Toastmaster. I'm Teresa, and then Terry for my friends. I have been in the travel business, and I did travel for 20 years prior to working for Walt Disney World, for Disney, and I worked with them 20 years, and I retired. So I am doing a lot of Toastmaster and a lot of family things because I'm a great-grandma already, and we have a 1-year-old, so I'm really excited. I'm going to see her this weekend. There's nothing like new life and training people. Now, my Toastmaster clubs, we're getting new members, and they're new fresh blood, which I love. and we're training them, and it's so exciting. So I hope you come and visit my clubs too.
Beautiful, yeah. So Teresa, she has a great club, and it's an advanced club. So for those of you who know Toastmasters, it's a club where like they evaluate you like 3 different times on your speech, and it's wonderful. I think it's great. I've been at Toastmasters for like 10, 12 years, so I believe in the mission and vision of Toastmasters. So and I met Rich in Medellin. I met a guy in Toastmasters in Medellin, and then he invited me over to Rich's group, which is great. We did this exercise for the King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, and that was great. So, all right, let's keep going with Andriana. Andriana, please introduce yourself.
My name is Andriana. I'm in South Florida, and I met Joe through Facebook, and we've been doing this Zoom for a couple of weeks now.
Yes, and then Andriana has a digital agency, and she helps shipping companies. That's what she does. So, let's say Carmen, welcome. I don't know you yet. How are you?
Hi, well, thank you for the invitation. I appreciate it. I'm surprised. I'm glad this is a Toastmaster group because I wasn't sure what it was, but I'm delighted to be here. My name again is Carmen Rodriguez. I'm originally from Venezuela. I'm a founder of Hollywood Stars Toastmaster Club, and it's a startup club looking for new members, and actually we're looking for a new place right now. So we are meeting in my house, which everybody loved. Nobody wants to get out of my house.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, this is not really a Toastmasters event or Zoom, but however, we have here 1, 2, 3. We have 3 Toastmasters here in the room, which is awesome. So
Where is your Toastmaster meeting?
It's in Hollywood. It's in Hollywood. We used to meet at a church, but the pastor left, and I didn't have another choice. I leave myself, and I didn't want to stop the club. Because we were a small group and we know each other very well. I said, well, let's have a host in my home. And we have been here since, and we kind of enjoy it.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Andriana, you should. I'll send you over her information because like she's near you, and I went to her club and they have free coffee and free food. So it's.
Well, that's my club.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's next to the kitchen, and we always have pizza, bagels, whatever it is. And sometimes we have requests. Carmen, can we have this? I said, sure. It doesn't cost much. But for me, one of the things and the blessing of the Toastmasters is when you are able to mingle with each other. Sometimes you are just tied to the time that we have to come in and we have to get out.
Right.
So it's actually a blessing to have the opportunity to talk to each other because we get connected. When you are connected, you have more loyal members, which is
amazing. Okay, let's move on. Let's do the last few quickly.
Too much. I used to be a teacher. Sorry.
No worries. Rob, go ahead. Introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, my name is Rob Dorado. I am also in South Florida.
Nice.
I'm a former teacher also, and coach. Now I'm a professional poker player, but I've been involved in the self-development, self-improvement. I've been trying to work on that for the last number of years, and I am concentrating on my own growth and improving my relationships.
Nice. Okay, perfect. We got 3 Toastmasters, and we got 3, 4, 5 Tony Robbins people, like from the crew or like from the events. That's a good mix right here. All right, Thuy or Victoria or Monica, would you like to introduce yourselves? Okay, I guess they'll just be listening. So thank you everybody for coming in. I am humbled by your presence. I just like to get this started with a quote from a book I've been reading lately. It's called The Alchemist. Have you guys read it? You haven't read it? Oh man. Okay. Well, with this quote, I think you'll be enticed just with this quote. And so, oh yeah, Andriana read it like 7 times. She named her company after it. Her company's called Alchemy. So so the Alchemist is telling Santiago, the boy, is telling the tea shop owner to, like, why don't you go to Mecca, because the Alchemist is headed to Egypt to find his treasure, but he loses everything, so he's got to work for this tea shop owner. And now the tea shop owner, they're talking about personal legend visions and the future, and they're talking about like, you know, like how they accomplish their best things. And then the tea shop owner says that one of his requirements for his religion, which is Islam, is to go and visit the Mecca, which a pilgrimage once in his life. And the alchemist Santiago asked the tea shop owner, so why don't you just go? And he says I've had this shop for 30 years. I know good crystal from bad and everything else there is to know about crystal. I know its dimensions and how it behaves. If we serve tea in crystal, the shop is going to expand, and then I'll have to change my way of life. He says, well, isn't that good? And he says, I'm already used to the way things are. Before you came, I was thinking about how much time I had wasted in the same place. My friends had moved on and either went bankrupt or did better than they had before. It made me very depressed. And he says, because I don't know how to deal with change, I'm used to the way I am. And that's how I want to start this. And that's whenever we are facing a situation where we can improve and change, what happens? We're used to the way things are already. So that's our main objection. So I just wanted to open up with that, and I'd like to open up the call now and see, like, you know, does that give you anything? Does that spark anything in you? Like, are you going through a time in your life where like you're going through an expansion or through a change or through a transition period in your life, and then you're so used to the way things are that you're resisting that change? I'll go ahead, Carmen.
Well, I guess I just got my coffee. I'm on alert here. I believe that we love the comfort zone and we like the way we have things, but we also a survivor. And there is no way you can survive if you don't change. So even though we are resistant of change, we are animals, and we try to, whatever it is, we have to move forward. So the quote, I agree to the point that mentally and an attitude, we like that. We react and we communicate that we are okay. But you are a survivor. I have a lot of problems that I don't want to have them, but I don't have another choice that go through. So whether I like my comfort zone or not, I had to do it. So that's my take.
Wow, that's great. Anybody else? Do you have a reaction to what just happened here? Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah, for sure I do. Well, a few years ago, I went on a journey here in Medellin, and it was a plant medicine journey. And the plant medicines said to me, your life purpose is helping men heal their father wound. And at one point, I turned my head and I looked up and I said, nothing else matters.
Whoa.
It was a really incredible moment for me. And yet, at the same time, I run this very successful company that helps students get into Ivy League universities. So I want to, on the SAT exam, so I want to improve on that. So I want to move more, and I am moving more toward my life purpose. I'm writing a book, but I do feel like the way this is currently is in the way. And I have only just in recent days, that breakthrough was December 6, 2022. So now we're going on 2.5 years. I've made some strides, and now I just have to make an earthquake and just go, okay, big changes, because this is my life purpose, and this is what I need to move toward, and I need to have this take less of my time. And so, yeah, that definitely, resonates with me.
Was that a plant medicine? Was that one of the one that started with the letter A?
No, it was actually just mushrooms, but it was it wasn't even a lot. But I think I'm very sensitive to, psychedelics, and it was just an incredible journey. And also, what was happening, there was a sound bath of, and so I was immersed in this, and it just, the voice just came to me, this is your life purpose. And I we were at the top of a mountain. Now we're in Medellin, Colombia, where it's quite common here for fathers to leave their kids, right? Leave the mother to, more than in other places, and leave the mother to raise the child alone. And so I looked at the entire city and I thought, there's a lot of healing that needs to happen here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, Rob, you look like you got something to say. Let me hear you. What's up, man?
I appreciate what Richard just said, and he found people that need his help, and not following his passion and his purpose would, in some ways, be a disservice to them. So he's recognized that, and he's made that his mission, which is obviously fantastic. I think I've had difficulty finding my mission. My wife is amazing, and she's been working with a lot of women and helping and heal their relationships and have better relationships, intimate relationships, and relationships in the future. And I've started to go to some of her conferences, and I could see how much these women wanted to improve their lives, and the devotion of my wife to help them do that. And then that kind of has inspired me a little bit, and I'm wondering how I can get involved and do something that has a little bit more purpose for the rest of my life.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other reactions from the resistance to change? Whenever you know that you actually need to implement that. Andriana, it looks like you got something to say.
Yeah. So to go off of what Robert was saying, I think Richard is kind of Maria's. They're doing kind of the same. Yeah, the same work. So I think I personally have been having this. Let's call it an issue. With my company and in the sales department specifically, and I think I have talked to a couple of different people of what it kind of takes to go from point A to point B, and how do you let go of that person that you are to become the person who you want to be. And I think to go back to what Richard was saying, as he came in, I was like, oh my God, I have so many questions for him. I have some of those questions for Maria as well, which is Robert's wife, which we'll probably have in the next Zoom. But the rejection wound, it's such a strong wound. How do you, I have read all the books and the logic of what it takes to go from point A to point B. But it's not a logical thing anymore. It's an emotional thing. And people is like, well, you gotta look at it this way. And I'm like, I know. Yes, it's logical. Yes, more no's. Yes, but no, it's no longer logical. It's emotional. And so it's letting go, and it's like when you're trying to build the muscle to go to the gym, but you go every day, you see no results, and you keep on going, and at some point you're like, this hurts, it doesn't feel that great, it's painful, but I am here.
You are here, and you are her.
So Richard, what would you recommend to someone who's dealing with a rejection wound?
Okay, so the key is really to first acknowledge, because a lot of it's interesting, because when I teach conscious relationship training and I say to the class, okay, who's here for self-improvement? And what happens? Everybody raises their hand. I go, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong place. This is about self-acceptance. You are trying to, I say exorcism only works in the movies. You're not going to exercise a part of yourself. But, so I focus on the 3 I's, okay? You need to integrate this part of you. That is introspect, reflect on it. I feel rejected. Examine that part of you. Integrate it. This is a part of me, okay? I feel rejected, okay? However, that does not mean you need to indulge that part of yourself that feels rejected. You can name it, and you can say when it's coming up, okay? But it sounds like what you've been trying to do is get rid of it. And you've been trying to get rid of it, to change it, no, it doesn't, no, you just introspect, integrate, but don't indulge that part of yourself. You can name it. Could you come up with a name for it? Part of yourself that feels rejected?
I'm sure I can come up with a name.
How about RGG?
What, Joe?
How about RGG?
That works.
Okay, so there you go. So then you can acknowledge that's coming up, and then you can choose something different. But the key thing is to recognize the pattern, right? This is a pattern. You have a pattern of self-rejection, but you recognize when it's coming up, and then you choose something different. I had someone who, it was interesting, I didn't know the word. One time in class, she said, I have all these Gorditos. I said, I didn't, okay, so who knows, who speaks Spanish here well enough to know Gorditos? Okay, so now I know, because I live. Okay, so Teresa, you didn't know. So it's like little pieces of fat, like little, like, right on your body. Am I describing it?
Up in English.
Yes, okay.
The muffin.
So she said that, and the first thing I said, because I think humor works really well, is I said, it sounds like a salty snack. Like, it doesn't sound like anything bad. And so I just made up a little image of Doritos with the Gorditos brand name on it. But the point is that we'll have a million different ways of self-rejecting, but we can look at it and go, oh, that's coming up again. Okay, I'm going to go a different route, right? And not indulge in that. And be aware of the path. It's awareness. It's shining light. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to it, but that the overview is shining light on it.
Shining light on it.
Shining light and seeing something different. Our brain is, our mind is like a mansion, and there's all these dark, dingy rooms with cobwebs that we don't want to go to. And the key in shadow work is to shine a light on those rooms. And that's, once you see the pattern, then that's when you can choose something different.
So acknowledge, accept, and choose something different.
Well, I like to say the 3 I's. So introspect. So you need to do this reflection. I'm feeling self-rejection. Really delve into this. It's okay. This is the room you don't want to go to, but you need to go there. So introspect. I'm feeling self-rejection, and you could journal about it. You could examine it more, like even talking about it here, and then integrate. This is a part of me. This is a part of me. And then remember, you don't have to indulge. So the last one is not. So, right? So introspect, integrate, but you don't have to indulge in that part of you. My wound from my father is intense. I mean, verbal abuse, physical abuse. But Alchemy, when you showed that book, Joe, I thought it was going to be about, and maybe it is, I haven't read, but turning lead into gold, right? Which spiritually you could do that. You can't turn real lead into gold, but you can spiritually turn lead into gold.
Yeah, actually, they I saw an article. I don't know if it's true, but they use a hydrogen collider or something, and they did turn lead into gold recently. So, but anyways, yeah, exactly. So, just wanted to say that. But yeah, please continue.
Excuse me, they converted to go to 14K. What level?
Let me. I'll look it. I'll look it up in the hydrogen collider. But yeah, please continue, man, because that's powerful what you were saying.
Well, it's the psycho-spiritual alchemy is right. Of course, the real alchemy, or the original alchemy, turning actual lead into gold, has been debunked. Or well, now, not maybe not through alchemy, through some modern technology.
Yeah. Look, just so scientists at CERN's Large Hadron Collider have successfully transmuted lead into gold, but only for a fleeting moment and in minuscule quantities. So I guess the process is not completely stable yet.
What I love is that they use the word transmuted, because that's exactly what we can do with these negative feelings. I would not be healing men's father wounds if I had not been, physically abused, verbally abused by my father. And so what did I do? I transmuted that lead into gold. And so that's what we can all do. Take these negative things and transmute them. But if you let them sit in that dark, dingy room and never go there, there's no chance of transmuting them.
Thuy, would you like to introduce yourself and say if you do you have any reactions to the conversation? Because she said she arrived a little late and she was a mute. Hello.
Hi, Andriana. Yeah, I was dropping off the kids and I was driving when you said that, and I was like.
This is she's here for comedic relief and laughter yoga. So everybody, if you just want to laugh, that's what she does. The laughter yoga. So she's a laughter yoga instructor, and that's what she's doing right now, right at this moment. So.
I don't know. Well, I'm actually from California by trade. I'm a realtor, and yeah. So I mean, I actually came onto the show from Andriana because this is a thing she's been doing the last few weeks that she was telling me about, and I was like super curious. So I'm so happy to see Robert as well. I always call him Robert. So I was like, who is Rob?
I always call him Roberto.
Yes. So look. So to get back on topic, like Thuy, she just turned our lead faces into golden smiles and laughter.
Aww.
She's good at that. That's one of her superpowers.
Yeah. So Thuy, to get back on topic, tell us, because we're on the topic of transmuting lead into gold now. So what has been, what is your reaction to that statement? And do you have a story where you were able to transmute some sort of lead metaphorically into gold?
Actually, that's really interesting. And I think, like, on a more spiritual level, I think it totally makes sense. And even when Andrea was talking about rejection, and this has actually just happened, I think, was it yesterday or the day before, when me and her was having a conversation, and I myself is going through a process of, I would say, like, discovering my authentic voice and letting it out. And, being a realtor, being in sales, we face so much rejection, like 99% of the time. And because the other day I was door knocking, I was making cold call, and I literally was like, it's hot, this sucks, I've been out for 3 hours, what the hell am I doing? Is this really the thing I want to do? I was in a bit of pain, but I think at the end, what I realized was actually acceptance. I was like, I accept that when I see another realtor put their sign in my neighborhood. I accept that it sucks when I get on the phone, I don't get the result that I want. And I accept all of that and all of these things. Like, I just accept that part of it, and it's okay. And I need to, and just like Richard, that, like, I go through that phase where, like, I am feeling this, and it's perfectly okay to feel this way. And I need to feel this way in order for me to get to the next step of whatever that may be. And it was actually really transformative, because I went from, like, I have to make cold call, even though I really hate doing it, because that's the quickest way to find a listing and finding clients, to, you know what, it's not what I love to do, and it's like, and I feel like that's not the best way to just overcome the fear of rejection. So we're going to go with a different way. We're going to create a different pipeline and go in a way that feel more authentic to me, which is more through, like, making connections and maybe building a database or referrals and things like that. Like, just more of a community base.
Wow. What is your reaction to this? And I'll give this to everybody. Rejection is not the end, it's the omen.
I think rejection, if it's not doubting that you are good enough. So rejection, it's no acceptance. So you don't accept yourself.
Yes.
No one can reject you unless you not allow it, but you reject yourself out of fear of not being good enough. No matter what it is, good enough for love, good enough for a job, good enough for an interview, and so on. So I think that's where we all start. Why am I feeling rejection? What am I, why I'm feeling I'm not good enough, I guess. Thank you.
Wow.
I think you hit it head on, actually, because I don't know if you guys, but for me, I could say from my experience, like, my fear of rejection is really stemming from my feeling of not being good enough. Because certain time I come up, like, no matter what I do, how well I perform, it doesn't mean that I will get that listing, I will get that client, and then that, like, oh, I'm not enough. comes out, and then like it just amplify all this fear of rejection even more. So yeah, I think that's definitely the core of it.
Well, I want to shoot that back out to Rich, because Rich is he's the shadow work coach. So what's your reaction to the rejection, and then yeah, the self-acceptance through rejection that you just heard?
Okay, so I take a pretty unique view on this, because many gurus will say, oh, well, it's got to come from inside, right? And ultimately it does. But the thing is, being surrounded by people who love you and recognize you for who you are really helps. So this notion of, oh, it's just got to come from inside, like some miracle is going to happen, like a lightning bolt. One day I'm just going to go, I love myself. No, surround yourself with people who love you, right? And then suddenly, and then you can even look in the mirror each morning and say, I love you, right? And in the beginning, you might not feel it so much, but eventually you'll start feeling that. In fact, Joe, the Alejandro who referred you to
your group,
Toastmasters,
okay,
in Medellin, he does that, and he's like, at first you don't really feel it, and then eventually you start feeling it, and you know him, you meet him, and you go, this guy loves himself, right? So I say, don't just sit around and go, yeah, it's just got to come from inside. No, surround yourself with people who love you.
Wow, and that's powerful. I recently started doing that, and the next round here of questions and comments, I want it to be about actions. Because just like Rich said, Alejandro, it's both of our friends, Alejandro does that, in the mirror. I recently started doing that too. In the morning, I go to the beach, and I go in the water when it's cold. It's like a cold plunge at the beach, and it's awesome. And what I do is I do my affirmations there. And I do kind of like a baptismal affirmations, where like I do an affirmation and I cold plunge in the water, and then I come out and I feel like a brand new person. So that's like my action. Let's go around and let's hear some actions that you do for self-love. Go ahead, Terry. Do you want to say something, or do you have a comment here?
My action is always to get with a group of people, because I have a lot of support people in Toastmasters. So if I'm ever down, you can share it with them, and they'll lift you up to make humor out of it, and then they kind of get you all excited again about life, because it's the way we feel. Sometimes emotionally we could get down on ourselves, and like you said, Andriana, that you could get rejected and you feel crappy and you say, oh my goodness, I can't get myself out of it. But I go to my improv class with Mark Guy, and he just lifts us up on Saturday mornings. And even if we're depressed and sick, but by having the humor and having the connection with 10 or 12 people in the morning, I mean, I can't get depressed anymore. I mean, I just have to get lifted up, and you try to lift other people up then too.
Well, yes. Associations, your peer group, your environment, and your actions. Those are really three important. Anybody else? Let's hear from somebody. Go ahead. We're talking about actions for self-love that you do regularly, or that maybe that you stop doing, that maybe you want to start doing again.
For me, in particular, I think I have always waited to do the things that I enjoy until everything was done. And so it was this way of like, well, I haven't earned it yet. And so swapping that for me now, first doing a little bit of something I enjoy, even if it's not for a long period of time, doing it first before I have to go and demand 1,000 things for myself. That has been the shift I've done about a week or so ago, where I'm going to do a thing I enjoy first for me, and then I'm going to go demand things for myself and my body.
Let's hear from Rob. Rob, what's up? Let me hear you. I know you got you're red, so I know you love yourself. You have that redness about you. You're like a heart.
Oh, I get a lot of sun. I think loving myself is something that I've gotten better at over the last few years. But I think what's kind of resonating with me right now is trying not to lie to myself. Like when I make a decision about something that I think is going to improve my life and I want to get it done, and then I don't get it done, it's a version of letting myself down, which is the same as when other people let you down, but worse. So I think one thing that I'm trying to do less of is I'm trying to do less of lying to myself. When I make a decision about working out or about something else, I want to follow through just so that I know that I can count on myself. Because I think one of the worst things you can do is let yourself down, because then you're telling yourself that you're not that important. So I think that's something that I'm trying to institute in my life now, is to not lie to myself. When I come up with something that I need to do, I get it done, so that I'm not disappointed with myself over it.
Well, go ahead, Monica. The self-love genie. Introducing the self-love genie.
Thank you. Don't lie to yourself. That's most important. Don't lie to yourself, and I love it. But what is self-love? I think it's the most important for each one to have a definition of self-love, and then go further to understand how they fall out of love with themselves, because sometimes it can happen out of difficulty, struggles, could be numerous things. So it's definitely having a proper definition of what self-love is, and then do more of the things that scared you, that you deep down want, not that scared you. I would be scared to do bungee jumping, but that doesn't mean it gets me closer to self-love. But do the things that to show up for yourself, to be assertive, to speak the best, to embrace rejection, because we are wired to connect to negativity. If we are in a room of 10 with 10, 20, 50 people, and all of them give us compliments, but only one say something wrong to us or something negative, guess what will happen? We will forget the rest of the 49 people, and we will remember exactly the person that said that negative thing. We are wired that way. So basically, have a definition of what self-love is. Be more courageous. Do the things that once scared you, like show up for yourself, whatever it is, and don't lie to yourself. I love that. Don't lie to yourself. Thanks for sharing that. Thank you.
Wow, and then that brings me to a great point, and I think this is the point where we start winding down here. It's and getting to like the core definition. We can talk about all these topics all we want, but let's see if we can find a common definition here. If you were to define self-love, how would you define it? And I want to go to each and every person. Like, what does that mean to you? You know, you could go short. Let's do like 30 seconds to a minute for each and every one of you. Let me hear it. Carmen, go ahead. You just unmuted yourself. Let me hear you.
It was a signal. Sorry. Listen, this is my first time here, and I do appreciate the invitation, because it's nothing better to gather from the input of everybody, because we do have different lives and different experience. But self-love for me is to learn to appreciate ourselves just the way we are. Sometimes all the time when I feel down, now I learn to appreciate that how strong I am to deal with these things. Before I ask myself, why am I going through this? And there is a reason for us. It's like for us to get stronger, we need to fight. We need to lift weight. If we have a passive life, we're never gonna challenge ourselves. So that self-love is for us to keep us going and give us a really, how you say in English? I forgot.
A pat on the back.
Exactly. And keep going. And one of the reasons Teresa mentioned is Toastmaster. For me, it's the cheapest therapy that you can get in your life. Because one of the reasons I found the club is because I need it. I really need it. I don't care if it's a joke, but just to be around people like we are now is amazing. And thank you for the invitation.
Wow, pat on the back. We usually have a person. We hire this guy just to go around and give people pats on the back. So if you guys, that's a service that we offer here. So if you guys wanna if you guys wanna sponsor Pat, he's available. That we can. He'll go out to your house and pat you on the back for a low fee. So, well, that's great.
Can I give advice? I got a dog.
You got it. That's right.
That's a great idea.
Before Pat arrives.
yeah, she's got a dog, and actually her dog's name Romeo. That's right, I remember. See, and
No, I don't think I had the opportunity to insert this joke here, but I got divorced and single, and I pray to have somebody a perfect one, and the love of my life. So God sent me a dog.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's great.
I was too picky.
Okay, who wants to go?
Sorry, I shut up.
A person for you.
Look at that, Andrea, what a matchmaker.
Single?
Oh man.
Andriana introduced me to my wife, so yeah, it works.
You know what's hilarious? Joe was there.
That was where?
He was crewing with us.
Oh, in Dallas.
In Dallas.
Oh, yeah. So you were there when I met my wife.
Oh, nice, interesting. Well, I'm honored to be there.
Carmen, it happens.
Yes.
My first marriage, 56 years old. So she's the love of my life. And she's perfect.
Wow.
So it definitely happens.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
No, I was married for 33 years. I never expect that happen, but this is life,
Yeah. So now that you're on, Rob, what does self-love mean to you? What is the definition for you?
Well, I think if you're showing up for yourself, then you could feel pretty good about yourself on a regular basis, and it also gives yourself a chance to show a little grace when you falter. That you're just doing the best that you can with what you know and what your ability is at the time of whatever you're going through. So to give yourself a little grace in the more difficult times. And the less difficult times, go ahead and put the pedal to the metal, and accomplish as much as you can for yourself and for others. But have some grace when you're going through more difficult times. It's what you need at that time, and you'll be better for it, and you'll come back stronger.
Oh yeah, Monica said, please share here your definition and save chat at the end. So if you guys want to put your definition on the chat, that way we can definitely have like a nice thing here where we can have something to draw from. So, but go ahead. Who wants to go next? Tell us what self-love means to you. And then what I want to do here is I want you to draw from everybody that went. And, if you need to borrow from their definition, just so you can make a tangible picture for yourself. Go ahead, Richard.
I would say appreciating all parts of yourself, both the light and the shadow, and even accepting that your self-love might not be perfect, and that's okay. I don't know if I'll remember to write that exactly for the chat, but
this well, that's why this is a podcast. That's why I record this, because in these conversations we get such good brainstorming material that I said, man, I have to get this in a recording. Like, I have to get these conversations, because I always have these conversations. I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well. You have conversations with your other friends who are also into personal development and self-improvement, and then that conversation is completely gone after you have it. So that's one of the reasons I do this. So, but go ahead. Who wants to go next?
Oh, I could go. Can I go next?
Sure.
I know a couple of people came in, so yes, self-love to me starts with God to begin with. And in order to like yourself is the most important thing, because if you don't like yourself, then you don't love yourself either. Now, I did read a book that she used to look in the mirror and give a high five to yourself every morning. So you could just feel yourself loved. And I think that's important, because sometimes you forget to love yourself. And maybe you don't like yourself that day, so you can't really love yourself, and you just feel rejected sometimes. I mean, we talked about rejection. Even though I don't feel rejected, I could have just woke up with a bad dream, wake up in the morning, and you don't like yourself. So that high five and lifting yourself up so you could get back to loving yourself is the most important thing.
Wow, masterful. All right, let's hear from Thuy, because she has to go like in a little bit, like in like a couple minutes. So
in 6 minutes. Yeah. I think for me, self-love means that I come first, and it sounds kind of selfish, but I think it's important that I come, for me in my life anyway, I come first in everything, whether it's in taking care of me, having boundaries, I always come first, because until I take care of me, until my cup is full, I cannot show up with love, with everything that I need in order to give, whether it's to my kids, to my husband, to my client, to a friend, to anyone else. So that, I guess, to me, that's what self-love means.
Andriana?
For me, it's showing up for myself. I think one of my main love language, it's act of service. And so I tend to do that for everyone else and put me last. And for me, it has been now, once I recognize that I need something, go do that first. So put that first. That in self-acceptance, accepting, as Richard would said, accepting the dark side as well. Accepting that, yeah, I may not be the best at that yet, but if I don't keep showing up, I will never be.
Okay, so for the last part of this Zoom, what I want to do is I want to...
Wait a minute. What is self-love for Joe?
For me, I think my answer would be like right now it's going on dates with myself. I do it every morning. I take myself out on a date to the beach, and I think that's and I really started thinking about that on this call when we got into the topic. I'm like, wow, I'm actually taking myself out on a date every morning.
These are getting you closer to your natural ability to be on a state of self-love. Whatever you have to do, every action that you do, that is self-care, that is talking into a mirror, that's going to the beach, going to the gym, whatever you do, it's getting you action that are getting you closer to your natural ability you're born with, self-intelligence, which is called self-love.
Yeah, and it's my natural habitat as well, because as a Cancer, like my symbol is the crab. So when I go to the beach, I am around all the other crabs at the beach, and they drill like little holes in the sand. And then so when I see the little holes and I see the little crabs on the beach, I say and I recognize that I am home with my friends and my family. So anyways, the last part of this, what I want to do is I want to gather everything we said, and then we went in, then we went out, we went specific, vague, and now I want to get specific again. What can we get out of usefulness? We'll do one more round. What is useful from this topic of self-love, everything we just said, or everything you said, everything somebody else said? What can you get from this and apply it to your life? Or what does it mean to you? Is something that stood out to you in the topic? Let's bring it back in, and then let's talk about like, how is this useful to you? Go ahead, Monica.
Thank you, Joe. So basically, everything starts and ends with self-love. If the world around you changes, if you get, let's say, rejected, you get divorced, you get to be, I don't know, anything can happen, but you are not in a state of self-love. When you are in the opposite of self-love, you will know it. You are in a negative state. When you are in a state of self-love, you are most likely, most of the time, in a state of self. We learn that self-love is available, that self-love can make us more resilient, and we learn that today. Once again, we reinforce that being true to ourselves, being authentic, get us closer. Doing acts of self-care get us more closer to our natural ability to be in a state of love. Thank you.
Let's go to Andriana with her heart.
I think that for me, what I would take away from this Zoom that I can implement, it's what Richard said. And although I didn't quite write it down as he stated, but it's acknowledging, accept the emotion that I'm feeling, and then move on to choose something else and sit with it. I think more than rejection, what I have been running away from is incompetence, feeling that I'm not, when I'm making those goals, I am gifted to know everything that I'm doing wrong and the goal right off the bat. And so I'm going to be writing that down and putting it aside and just accepting that that's what it is, and not running away from it, but choosing some other emotion.
Teresa.
Quite a few of the things are very similar. If you like something, if you accept something, if you feel like you come first, and we should. you're the first person. You can't really be happy unless you like yourself and accept yourself. And I think that's the pattern we have to look at, because every day is not the same. Things happen. I've been married too. I've been divorced. I've been a realtor at one time, even though I had many occupations. Everybody changes and you shift around, and life changes so rapidly that you can't keep up with everything. So you have to accept whatever happens to you that day or the day before, so you could go on to the next day. And you have to start with a clean slate every morning, because if you don't, you have too much baggage to think about. And I think that's where we have to go with it, that you accept yourself, you love yourself every morning, and look at yourself. And I think we all kind of feel the same way. At the end of the day, we're going to forget about everything and go on to our new day and make it happen and make it fun and just support other people in your life.
Carmen, go ahead.
A lot of people, Teresa nailed it, everybody, Rob. I don't have my glasses. I remember all the names. But pretty much everybody say the right thing. But I'm going to do a twist, because thanks to the failures, thanks to what it was rejected, is the reason I'm here. Because every rejection is getting me stronger. For example, I'm from another country. English is not my favorite, or anything is I don't like to talk, actually. And when I came here, unfortunately, it was more value of how I said than actually what I did. And so the language for me, it was a barrier, didn't allow me to move forward. And I thank God I was in technology, so I was able to pass the barrier through doing, to showing. And he said, Carmen, did you do this? I can't believe it. Because the lack of vocabulary or communication, I was lost. And that's why I'm here in Toastmaster, because I put a challenge. And life put you on the path that you wanted to follow. If I didn't probably have that major barrier in language, I probably wouldn't be here. Who knows? But sometimes the bigger the failure, the success you're going to be, because that's probably a path that you want to conquer. I mean, something that you want to conquer. And I have a lot of stories that it was a failure. And that's what I hear.
I like the echo. I like Go ahead, Rob. Let me hear from you.
I think what resonated with me today, well, so much from what everybody has said, but appreciating all parts of yourself, the light and the dark, and understanding that sometimes from these dark places, I mean, that's where, in a lot of cases, maybe we're prompted to make a difference. Is from the dark places. So I think that, that's resonated with me today. And definitely also the self-love, which I don't know that I've been very good at through the years. But everybody needs somebody to love them. And if you can provide that for yourself, that's got to be a good way to start your day. And if you have faith in God and that God loves you unconditionally, that would be two people, God and yourself. And that's a great start. So I think those concepts resonated with me today.
Well, and last but not least, let's hear from Coach Rich.
I really, this has been good, because it's pushing me to move even more deeply into my life purpose, into healing, and recognizing that is a gift. And it's a gift that, ironically, I got from my father, who wounded me. And but I am a wounded healer, and I want to heal more. And this has been a reminder of this, like to say, okay, yes, when you talked about change, right, making a change in the beginning, right, and pointing back to, yeah, that's my company, right, I could totally rework that, so that takes less of my life, so I have more of my life for other things.
To end this, I would like for each of you, and including me, if you can picture an image in your mind of what self-love is. Because a lot of times we talk, and then we just talk, but you don't crystallize it in a tangible image. So all the talk is lost, because then you get distracted by something else. So if you could, right now, develop an image of what that self-love means to you, and for you, Rich, that change, what would that look like?
This immediately came to mind to me. I've never been asked it, but to me, it's just a warm blanket. a warm blanket. There's cold around, but you can have that warmth there for you, and you're surrounded by it, and you can also share that blanket too. And move it, extend it along the couch, and it's a feeling of comfort. And so that was just the first thing that came to mind, a warm blanket.
That's perfect. That's
I
perfect.
like that. A warm blanket to hold and to share.
That's perfect. Because a lot of times we think about these abstract things and we don't have a tangible image to tie it to and anchor it to. Like Tony Robbins uses anchors, like when you touch, you do certain touches or certain words and stuff. But like, what about an image? Like if you had an anchor of the warm blanket image, a picture, then every time you see a warm blanket, you think self-love. Isn't that crazy? So what would be your image? Like, does anybody else? Do you have an image? And then we'll close out after this. But I want to hear some images that you can tie as an anchor to what the definition of self-love is. Go ahead, Carmen.
For me, I believe it was a study that what is more powerful than saying I love you, and actually it's a hug. So it was related to the blanket. And being a teacher, I think with the kids, a hug, I know that right now the school, you cannot hug anyone, but I was in elementary, I was with the small kids, and even teenagers, sometimes they just need a hug. Sometimes they don't need a word, they don't need to explain, they don't need anything. They need a hug. And you can feel the energy released, because sometimes we always in the defense, in the offense. Even though no one has done anything to you, you are ready for it. Okay, I'm ready for this. And a hug, it just disarm you. And I found this so powerful. With my song, I know sometimes I say I love you all the time. I love you, love you, love you, love you. But a hug, it means so much, especially fathers. Now that I know the issues, fathering the different generations, they were raised different. They were not self-awareness. They grew up the way grandfathers taught them how to raise kids. I mean, we have more awareness of our beings. But before, my father, I was raised in a farm, if I can stand. My father never told me I love you. But he did so much things for me that for me every day without saying anything, he told me that he loved me. He didn't have to say anything, and I don't get offended for it because he never said it to me. I know he felt it. But he was raised like that. He was a single father. His mother beat him up for everything because he was not such a good kid, whatever. But just a hugging all the time. I hug my mom, my brother, my father, because I didn't need to talk. And the kids, just give me a hug. Anybody you see, just giving a hug. That's my message.
A hug, okay. So for hugs, like the physical symbol, it could be like arms, right?
Yes.
So yes. What is the image? What is the image that you hold whenever you think of a hug?
Compassion, understanding.
No, a physical thing, like a physical thing that you can look at and see.
Well, I see myself hugging, my father, my mother, my son. Is that the physical? That would be enough.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Terry.
My first impression was they had the sculpture of the two hands where they meet each other, and that's the first thing that came to my mind because of this connection, to connect with someone, and that's love. When you connect with something or someone, you're part of love and life, and that's so important. So it was really the two hands when they're shaking, I think it was, as I remember the sculpture.
Yes, that's great. It's great anchor. So sculpture.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, Rob, go ahead. What would be your anchor, or like your thing that you can see, like, or you can touch?
I kind of like what Teresa just said. Carmen, the first thing that came to my mind also was a hug, and my mind was going to like.
That's what I want to do first.
Yeah, my mind went to what makes me feel the most love, and I was thinking of my wife and her children, who are now becoming my children, because they hug and they love with no reservation. But then I was thinking that that's not self-love, that's love I'm receiving from other people. So then when I started to try to move it towards self-love, I imagined the 6-year-old version of myself giving my current person a hug.
Perfect.
Because I'm still here. So that 6-year-old version of me and through all the ages and all the battles and all the depressions and all the different things that I've been able to survive, the 6-year-old is proud of me. So I thought that was my self-love. And as far as an image goes, I kind of like what Teresa said with the clasping of hands.
Class. What about you, Andriana? What do you got? What's your image? Or you can borrow somebody else's if you don't have. You can borrow somebody else's. You know, so you can actually take the blanket and use that for you, or you can take the sculpture and use that for you. The point is, have something that anchors that experience, so that you can go to it whenever you need it.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be actually, as you guys were talking, I was creating my image in ChatGPT, and it's a teddy bear with, it's a teddy bear. I'll share it with you guys in a bit. But it's a teddy bear with a blanket around it, giving it a hug. And so it's a blanket hugging the teddy bear, just very warm. This depiction of what you guys have described, all combined, all together. And so, I combined everything you guys said, made it mine.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow. So, okay. Well, if we have, imagine this. Imagine you had a teddy bear and with a warm blanket with like going like this, or you can just take the blanket itself, but if you had everything, you can create like a megazord of self-love.
There. I'll just send that on the chat.
There you go.
Look at that. Okay, look, so to end this, I would like it, as a favor, I would say, Rich, because you do these meditations all the time, could you lead us in a send-off meditation of self-love, incorporating like the images, and then we can end our Zoom.
Oh, putting you on the spot, Richard.
What's that?
Nothing like putting you on the spot.
Yeah. Okay.
Get the juices flowing.
I now introduce you to the guru of self-love, Richard Dalton.
With a purpose.
Right. I'm just gonna make one up off the cuff, but okay. I want you to just close your eyes, and I want you to go back to a period, something in your life where you just felt completely at peace, where you were just so happy. A particular point in a particular place you were at and I want you to look around in your mind at the place that you're at where you feel so at peace. I want you to look around in your mind at the people who are with you and feel that amazing sense of just peace and feeling at home and feeling calm and feeling love, not only for those around you, but love for yourself. Get that image in your mind, and now I want you to let go of the particular image, the place where you're at, and the people around you, and just go inside your mind now and stay with that same feeling that you had then. That feeling of peace, that feeling of calmness, that feeling of self-love, and sit with that right now. You don't have to be back there in that place with those people. You can feel that right now. And so I'm going to give you a moment to just feel that feeling. Now I'd like you to give a name to that place or the people there, whatever name you might want for that point where you just felt so at peace and felt so much self-love. Give a name to it and give an image to it. It could be a teddy bear. It could be a hug. It could be a sculpture of two hands. It could be a warm blanket to hold and share. And have that image in your mind of that self-love, that warmth, that comfort. And know that at any moment you can close your eyes and you can go back to that teddy bear, or that hug, or that sculpture of two hands, or you can wrap yourself around with a warm blanket while you look at a sculpture of two hands in front of you, while you're sharing the blanket and getting hugged under the blanket with a teddy bear in between the two of you. You can access this at any moment you'd like by closing your eyes and going back to that feeling of peace and self-love. Now take a deep breath and breathe out like you're blowing up a balloon. And slowly open your eyes and come back to the present, knowing that you can return to this place anytime you'd like.
And before we go, just remember this. Rejection isn't the end. It's the beginning of redirection. Pain isn't your enemy. It's the pressure that shapes your purpose. And self-love is not selfish. It's the root of everything you're becoming. So take this energy with you. Walk tall. Move with love. Transmute everything. And I'll see you next time. Same soul, even stronger. Let's keep growing. If you want a recording of this call, send me your email, or it will be on YouTube and Spotify in about 2 or 3 days. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Great
Thank you,
day.
everybody.
Despierta, el alma solo odio la mañana, pero con sonrisa falsa todo en calma.